This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Being your best self feels good for your loved ones and for you. Visit betterhelp.com/Gen2Gen and get back to being you. Yeah, another episode. Matthew Espinosa, how you doing?
And my good buddy, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, my favorite of the Workaholics boys.
Wow. It's not hard to be that.
He ain't lying.
Yeah, God, the way
one of my favorites, Blake Anderson, is on the show. Wow. Thank you very much, my friend.
Gonna touch you.
Thank you. No, I love you. Thank you for being here.
I love you too.
You've been a very my favorite story.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell it on Gen2Gen because I haven't told it on Gen2Gen. My favorite story is I go to the audition for Workaholics, and I show up a day early because I read the thing wrong.
You're just so excited, huh?
And I'm looking around. Actually, I wasn't excited.
What? Oh, wow. Okay.
Because you're
sorry about that, man.
No. You're thinking about what it became.
Oh, okay. That's
when you
true.
read that on paper on the first night, you were like, "This show ain't never gonna get picked up."
You had funny sides. What the f*** are you talking about?
No, they were. I was excited about being like this. My first thought was they're gonna let someone say this on TV, so that's why I really put a lot into it because I was like, I would love to be able to say this crazy nonsense on TV. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the audition for that was I woke up at 5 a.m. and, had sex with my wife. It was like this long soliloquy about having sex with my wife. So I was like, really? But anyways, I show up early. I misread it. I'm walking around looking for the audition. I run into this guy.
In this snack room. You were like stealing snacks.
I would.
It's like, I guess
Here we
since
go.
I'm here, maybe I'll take some graham crackers.
Is this crafty? And then I go, hey, man, I'm looking for, and he says, are you here for Montez? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, that's tomorrow. And now I'm all like, well, yeah, I like to, come early.
You're trying to play it off. Like,
yeah.
I'm here on purpose.
And then Blake always says to me, I don't know if I half believe you.
No, I legit went straight back to the writer's room because I was getting some string cheese or something. And I close the door, make sure like Erik can't hear. And I'm just like, I just met Montez.
No
way. And they're like, what? And they're like, who was it? And I'm like, Erik Griffin.
You didn't know who I was.
Yeah, and then Adam said, hell no. He did. He's like, that guy is so annoying. I do not want him on this. I'm like, really? I'm like, he is exactly Montez in my mind.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Adam's like,
I
don't know, man. He's a stand-up. I just don't know.
So who all wrote the show? Because I know you guys all had that role in that, and I know you guys have been doing YouTube videos and all that for a while, too. So who was the original, where was the inspiration from? Who started it?
The core crew was like me and the dudes, and then since we had never done anything as far as professionally or a TV show, Comedy Central was like, you have to have a showrunner or somebody who has some sort of experience in the industry. So they gave us, we picked Kevin Etten to be our showrunner, and he was kind of like the head of Voltron, if you will.
Yeah, and I actually feel like that's what made it great.
Kevin Etten?
No.
Thanks, man.
No.
Christ,
no, was the fact
we're not even 5 minutes in. You're just on a roll here.
Was the fact that I think it was the fact that you guys didn't have any experience, but just being funny. Sure. I think that's what made the show great. I think that's what made it what it is. Like people ask me, I get this question all the time. They always ask me, "What's your favorite episode?" I always say it's the Office Campout. That to me is my favorite episode of Workaholics because it encapsulates everything that the show is about. These three guys and their relationship and how they interact with each other, and that's what made the show. And so it became like people's favorite show. It became like people's friends, The Office. It was on that level for that generation. And so now I'm just like, you look back on it because it's been over 10 years now since we started, right?
Yeah, dude.
And then to see you guys at Adam's wedding, it just brought me back to that. I was like, oh yeah, this is like a really great camaraderie. That this isn't like, oh, you were on a show or we were on summer camp and we never talked to the people again.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, these are my friends. I love these people, and that's the testament to like why it was what it was. And, and it still is that because people are still finding it.
Sure.
Right?
I'm astonished at the amount of people that still are Well, even like I feel like you know, with like quarantine and all that, people started to revisit shows that they hadn't watched in a while, and a lot of people were just like, you know, I get messages where they're like, dude, this was a hard year. It was like dark, and you were just like my comfort blanket. Like I went back to Workaholics just to like laugh. And it's like, I don't know, that kind of stuff is just like, oh, that I guess that's like why we do it, you know, just to like hear those true stories where people are like, you actually like helped me out of like a really depressing time. It's like, oh yeah, that's why we got into it. Make people laugh, make them smile.
And it's so funny how the business beats you down and you forget that.
Yeah.
You know, the business
You get the whole reason why you got into it. Yeah.
Like the business makes it so it's like, you know, you're thinking about all these things and then you
Money.
forget, like, for real, you think about money, you think about all this other stuff, you think about like what message are we getting across? You know, you think about like those stupid note sessions from the networks and all these things, and you just go, hey, remember why we're doing this? And then occasionally a fan will come up to you and be like, hey man, I really enjoy this or that. And I just, so I always remember that, you know, it's been like I didn't think that I cared about it as much as I did Workaholics, for instance, until it was my last day of shooting.
Yeah.
You know, my last day, and then I was like, they had a cake or whatever, and I just was like, you know, I got to tears because I was like, oh, we're done. I can't believe that we did this.
And now I'm like pissed because I see all these shows that are like still going. I'm like, why didn't we just back burner it? We were like just so precious about the show. At least like, you know, we just wanted it to always be good. Now I'm like, why didn't we just let it get really and just like
just keep it pushing?
Yeah, just keep going. Some seasons will be good, some will be terrible. But
you know what? I think that you guys needed to, you know, it's kind of like,
let me know, man.
This is like Workaholics.
If my manager's listening, now's the time. Turn it up.
Well, Workaholics was your high school girlfriend.
Right.
And now you needed to break up with her, go to college, figure out stuff, and then you could come back to her later and be like, you know what, I've grown. And I think you all needed that. Adam needed it. You know, Adam went on to be like, you know.
Well, yeah, it's easy to say for Adam. He's hell of successful. I'm over here fucking making cartoons. Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about? You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm doing
great. You got a great t-shirt company, too.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
He's got a really great, what's the name of the thing?
Teenage. You could go to boredteenager.com, check out the gear.
Yeah, it's got some really great designs and stuff. It's like, you know, your generation will love it.
Yeah, your gen's going to be hyped. Gen2Gen.
Yeah. You were asking earlier who came up with that idea, and I'll definitely take take credit on that.
Well done, man. How many days did it take you to come up with Gen2Gen, man?
Honestly,
it was a vision board.
It came to you in a dream?
No, yeah. I don't even know, honestly. The thing is, I knew that I wanted to do it with Erik.
Right.
So, and then that's kind of when the whole name.
Really, it was Erik. You didn't like have a few people ahead of him, and then you fell on Erik. Like he's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, this is my Workaholics thing. Right
I know,
now.
I love it.
I had to audition 4 times for that stupid show.
Shoot for Sinbad, land on Erik Griffin. That's the key, my friends. We all have been there.
I hate you.
Well, you were talking earlier about how people had this, you know, where they were going back and it's blanket of comfort for Workaholics. Do you think that came from people not only loving the show, but also maybe working in, you know, the office type space, and they have this kind of relatability to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was like the strong point. Even what Erik was saying, not only do you relate to the friendship of the show, you relate to the dead end job of it all, or like a job that you don't see yourself being in the rest of your life.
Yeah,
it's not your
just
dream
one
job.
to make ends meet.
And you're 8 years in.
Yeah, and then, you know, it gets comfortable, and next thing you know, you're just like, oh, yeah, I've been here for 15 years now. Holy but this isn't the last stop.
Well, the number one thing I always have people come up to me about Workaholics is to be like, oh, that's me and my friends.
Yeah.
Totally. That's the big thing. It's like, oh, my buddy's just like Blake. My other friend is just like, you know, and I'll be like, okay, great.
Yeah,
you know?
and then I'm like a little concerned. Like, wait, who's the Adam? You need to check him into rehab. This could get really ugly really quick.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought of?
What?
I just remember I saw you once at a concert. I'm trying to think of what concert it was. It was
I've been to a few.
Bowl.
Jonas Brothers. I was there last night. That's so weird you said it. I saw him again.
What?
Yeah, I'm one of the bros. I was at Jonas Brothers last night, dude.
Wow.
No joke.
That was my first ever concert ever when I was like 15.
Dude.
Not the one at the Hollywood Bowl. That'd be pretty pathetic if my first concert was like 24 years old. But
no, dude, that's cool.
I mean, regardless, it was Jonas Brothers.
That's your first concert?
When I was in
Brothers?
Dude, they rock, dude.
They kill it, bro. They kill it.
Dude, and by the way, Joe Jonas is looking swole, bro.
Yeah.
He's so big right now.
Yeah, they are coming back hard.
Bro, he had this little glittery tank top on last night. His arms were just beast mode, dude. I was hyped. I was losing it.
Please put a picture of him in right there.
Bro, Joe, you look so good, man. I am so hyped on you. Like, woo. Dude, it's crazy though. Yeah. Oh man.
Some love making going on.
Oh man, it's hot. It's hot. And
so what was your first concert then?
My first like official concert is actually pretty dope. I went to the Pond in Anaheim and I saw Elton John.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was definitely like maybe 17. It took me a while to see like my first concert, but I remember like my stepmom and dad brought me and I was like, Elton John, oh, sucks, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to see that.
Yeah.
But then I got there and like, I don't know, like you just got to see Elton John. Dude, Elton John rocks, dude. Like straight up turned me out.
Okay, listen.
Not like that, but
I get it. Well, he could have.
He could have. If he would have brought me backstage, I would have been like, Sir Elton, tell me what to do, bro. Dude.
There's a certain fame level that you go, okay.
Yeah,
You know what
like,
I mean?
come on, it's Elton John.
It's
Like,
some regular dude. It's like, this is Elton
I could
John.
tell the homies and they'd be like, yeah, for sure.
I saw Elton John and Billy Joel.
Oh, that's sick.
That's a dope
I saw
combo.
that one. And I didn't realize, okay, so Elton John from playing the piano.
Sure,
Yeah, so
sure.
it's like he plays the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Billy Joel.
Really?
Dude, they call Billy Joel the piano man for a reason.
Ooh.
And I couldn't, they were like, battling back and forth.
Yeah.
And Billy Joel's all like,
It was like one of those drum offs, but with a piano.
yeah, dude.
Well, that's wild you said that because Elton John, I remember him like going under the piano and like playing like this.
Really?
Amazing. They're both amazing.
That's crazy.
But I'm telling you, Billy Joel's like just about, so
well, that's okay because Elton John has way better songs,
my first concert.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
think so?
like. Yeah, his catalog is deep. Take a dive. I know it may not be your gen, but this gen over here,
Yeah.
From one gen to the other,
dude,
check out Elton John.
he's like all the Jonas Bros combined, basically.
Wow.
Elton Jonas.
Elton John.
Yeah, he's sick. Dude.
I'm sure he would love to combine.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. I don't with Big Joe Jonas.
Come here, Elton.
Yeah.
My first concert ever was in 1984.
Beethoven.
I was
Come on.
Michael
The
Jackson.
disrespect of this generation.
Yeah, dude. Beethoven, really?
The first
Mozart,
symphony.
sorry,
yeah,
Mozart.
My bad.
I'm 500 years old. Okay.
That's okay.
It was Michael Jackson, the Victory Tour at the Dodger Stadium.
What?
Yeah, that was my first
That's
concert.
insane.
Yeah, he had just that was like the height of his power, like he had done Motown 25, which blew everybody away, and then like he was on tour with his brothers.
What album was he touring?
Thriller.
Oh my God.
wow.
Dude. That's like
Oh, yeah,
considered like the best album of all time.
Yeah, what's the greatest selling album of all time?
That's insane.
Yeah, so it was.
So then everything else is just subjective then? So
Yeah.
it technically is the best album of all time.
Yeah.
Because
if you're going by the numbers.
if you're going by numbers,
well,
yeah.
you have Quincy Jones and
Sure.
Michael Jackson combined to create all this and then Michael Jackson was the first of a lot of things. Like he was the first ethnic artist to be on MTV.
Right.
He's the first person to like choreograph dance in a video. He's the first person to make music videos be the big productions.
What?
Yeah.
To choreograph dancing?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no dancing in music
Nah,
videos?
not
No.
choreographed. It was just freestyling, like
Yeah.
James Brown, just like.
It wasn't like how he did it,
Yeah.
that sort of like thing. He was the first of a lot of things. But that was my first concert. And then I saw like Janet Jackson like 3 times after
Oh, that's
that.
hot.
And then, but I don't know what's the best concert you've ever been to. Like you go like this. I had the greatest experience here, and it could be a music
I
festival.
was going to say, it's a music festival
yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think I saw like, and I'm not like a Frank Ocean like stan. I don't go like nuts for him like anything he does. I worship.
Because he has some stands for sure.
Yeah, like they're like out here, like
Yeah.
worship him. But
Mhm.
I saw him perform. I think it might have been at the like Golfwang Carnival.
Okay.
And like Spike Jones was filming it, and it was all being played live. It could have been FYF Festival, but it was Frank Ocean, and then like it was just an incredible concert. I was like very moved,
Wow.
and I was just like, "This is sick."
I think for me it was like one that stands out was Bon Jovi.
What the hell?
Dude,
You
you're
only
saying
have
legends. You're only saying legends.
Yeah, like
it was just.
I don't know. It's either Bon Jovi,
Yeah,
Kiss, AC/DC, or Led Zeppelin. I don't know.
You know what? I never would have seen any of those. I never would have seen. I wasn't a rock guy.
Okay.
Like I wasn't into like big hair rock. That wasn't my thing.
Sure.
And then like in my coming up, rap wasn't a thing you go watch live.
Sure.
So like this is like all new, this thing. So for me, it would just be like whoever the epic artists were that you would go see. And so I just remember Bon Jovi being like, it's like watching somebody live. I highly recommend everybody, whoever your favorite artist is, you look and see where they're coming and you go watch them live because it is a different experience.
For sure.
You have a whole new, higher appreciation for
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Sometimes you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
But those people don't, but you know what? Those people know.
Yeah.
And they don't go
don't
on
show
tour.
up.
Yeah. They already know they don't have it.
They just don't.
Just stay in the studio, drop the tracks, don't go on tour.
Or even watching somebody, like, even if you don't get their thing, like I saw this Billie Eilish documentary on Apple TV, and after watching that, I had a whole new respect for like that sort of art form, or I actually appreciated her as an artist because you hear her music and I don't get it. It doesn't speak to me. You know what I mean? She ain't speaking to 49-year-old dudes. You know what I mean? Imagine
She's
if she
not.
was.
Yeah, that'd be cool if she
Right.
really
she
touched
somehow
your
can
soul.
relate to like
But like to see like the people in the crowd and like how they're singing her lyrics, and you can see the people being like, well, she's speaking for me. And then you go, oh, that takes a lot of like whatever that is that you are in touch with your vulnerability to make people go, you're speaking for me. You just go, all right, they don't have to be the greatest singer. They don't have to be the greatest dancer. They don't have to be like, there's something powerful about somebody that is in touch with their artistic ability and they speak to people.
Yeah.
And so like, I was like, I wouldn't see her live, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
I get that.
I mean, I think connection trumps everything when it comes to artists and their audience and fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of it factor and all that, people go if they feel they have a connection to this artist, you know? And then especially when they go see them live and they're like, holy crap, I really love this artist, and that connection grows even more. And I think that, like how we were talking about with them just not potentially having that it factor, I think it really comes down to just having that connection. You know, because everyone has a different reason why they listen to a certain artist. It could even just be one lyric in one specific song that was like, wow, that one really hit home for me. I want to listen to more of their catalog.
Well, I think that like if you talk about like the generations, like so my generation, there was no internet, there was no way. The only way you
there wasn't.
The only way you hear somebody, the only way you would hear somebody would be on the radio. Sure. You had to go to the record store and actually buy their album.
Yeah,
and and then you would see them on whatever thing. So like someone like Michael Jackson, it was like, so why did
Bob Hope or something?
Something like that, like Johnny Carson or something like that. So those were the big moments that you go, oh, this guy grabbed my attention. But now it seems that like people they can grab their crowd's attention and the crowd never sees them live or never even, you know what I mean? Like you could be a super fan of someone that you've never heard them even sing live. And so it's just like, it's a weird dynamic. I mean, you're a little bit older than him.
Well, how old are you?
I'm probably way older. I'm 37.
Okay, you got
that's a little bit older.
I'm getting up there.
You got
brother.
13 years on me. I just turned 24.
40's coming. I can't wait.
Oh, me neither. That's gonna be sick.
Welcome to this side of the
we got three different generations here: 40s, 30s, and 20s.
There we go. Look at that.
It's Gen to Gen again.
The raging 20s.
The raging 20s,
nice, bro. How are you liking that? How are you liking that?
Over there.
I like it a lot, honestly.
Oh, I thought the 20s were psycho. But then again, that's like...
Well, do you guys have any advice for a kid in his 20s, just turned 24?
Well, so that means you were late 20s when the Workaholics was starting.
Yeah.
That was late 20s. I mean, imagine giving like, knowing how you know yourself now, would you be like, if you're an executive, would you give 20-year-old Blake, money to make a show?
Yeah, for sure, dude. Because like you said, it was like the blissful ignorance of it.
That's
like,
true.
It was crazy. Like even.
But you're jumping off roofs.
That was true. But I didn't miss a day of work. I straight up was still in the writer's room.
You did show up, huh? That's great. And I want to say to their credit, you would think that that age group, what the show is about, the subject matter and how they were doing it, you would think it'd be like tabloids about like, Adam and Blake have a Coke fest and then they go crazy. It was never that.
Well, we never were.
Never were like
that's
like
good
that.
advice for a 20-year-old. Don't get into Coke. That's a train wreck. We were never Coke bros. Never. we just drink margaritas. That's about it, and smoke weed.
You were basically like just regular party. You know, the one question I get a lot from people, they go, was it real weed on set?
I know,
and I'd be
weird.
like, this is a professional production.
Yeah. We're up so early.
Yeah.
Like if we're smoking bong ripping at 6 a.m. and you got to do a 12-hour day. Like,
yeah, come on, dude.
Yeah,
only Seth Rogen and Snoop Dogg can pull that off. That's
and I don't even know if they're pulling that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if they're
Snoop's just bumbling through life success after success. That lucky bastard.
Yeah, I hope my 40s and 50s, you know what I mean, it could be like that.
Like Snoop?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's been able to just transcend from generation to generation to generation.
Yeah, man.
He just turned 50.
Yeah.
He
like,
just
you know
turned
what?
50.
That's my question to talk about is how you look at an artist and like, so I could say for me, an artist for me, I knew him as this or I knew her as this. And then like, how are they now for you? So a good example of that could be LL Cool J.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So for me, LL Cool J is a rapper. He was like,
he was like tough.
Yeah, dude. LL Cool J was like,
he's hosting a lot of things
I'm
now.
bad.
Yeah, now he's like Kids' Choice Awards, like dumping
so now,
slime on
so
people.
people know him. So people know him as like they know him as an actor now. Like he's an actor to this
What
generation.
does he act in?
He's
Like
been on 17 seasons
NCIS.
of one of those like
What?
NCIS New York or
Come
LA
on.
or one of those.
Come on, dude. Tap into LL.
But he's somebody
LL
that's
tap in.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he's somebody that's gone through all the generations. Even someone say like Mariah Carey. So Mariah Carey, when I was in high school, she first came out and she was this big artist and she had 7 albums in a row that was like the #1 album. And then she like flipped and turned into like a hip hop girl. And then her whole music changed. And now she's like somebody's auntie now, it feels like,
Yeah, but Mariah Carey is without a doubt instilled into pop culture forever now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how much money she makes every Christmas season?
That's true.
Like she is
got that-
forever.
Yeah.
No matter what, Mariah Carey, it's Mariah's month in December. Every single time
Thank
she
you.
is the running.
I'm glad to hear this generation understands that.
Yes, no, like legitimately.
That's
like,
very important.
it's so important that everyone understands Mariah runs Christmas.
She absolutely does.
There's
She is
no-
Mrs. Claus for sure.
Hi, everybody. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break to thank our sponsor for this episode, Hoobie. They've been taking care of a lot of the past episodes, so thank you so much to the Hoobie fam for looking out for Gen2Gen. You can check out them at Hoobie, HOO.be, on Instagram and their site in general. Also, I've been having them in my Instagram and Gen2Gen's Instagram for a long time, so be sure to check them out. They are the invite-only link in bio platform that is super customizable, super awesome, and they're going to do you one extra, and that's by letting you guys potentially jump on early. And all you got to do to get in that potential group of people is going to Hoobie/waitlist/Matthew. Again, that is HOO.be/waitlist/Matthew. Thank you, Hoobie, again for sponsoring this episode. And yeah, let's keep it pushing. Bye. What's up, everybody? Real quick, there is honestly so much going on in the world, whether it's stuff you're excited about, like a date, or stuff you'd rather not think about, like tomorrow's 6 a.m. workout. You can't always control the vibes out there, but you can always control the vibes inside your head with a pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ears. I've had these for a long time, and whether I'm using them to pump up, wind down, work, or work out, Raycons are my go-to for audio on the go, any day. And the new everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever with a new improved rubber oil look that feel and look very amazing. And they're optimized gel tips for the perfect ear fit. Feel so amazing. They're honestly very impressive before you even start listening or put them in. You can get 3 new sound profiles to make sure everything you're listening to sounds its best with just the right amount of bass. There's also an all-new awareness mode for you when you need to listen to your surroundings instead. Raycon also offers 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. 32 hours. There's also a built-in mic, and you can take your calls on your earbuds at the press of a button. Raycons start at half the price of other premium audio brands, but they sound just as good. And Raycon comes with a 45-day happiness guarantee. Right now, Gen2Gen podcast listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/Gen2Gen. That's buyraycon.com/Gen2Gen to save 15% on Raycons. That's BUYRAYCON.com/Gen2Gen. Thank you again to Raycon for sponsoring this episode. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Life is full of stressors. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have, your life is probably stressful, whether it's money, relationships, job, etc. Now, you may not be feeling down and out or depressed or like you're at a total loss, but if your stress is high, your temper is shorter than usual, or even if you're starting to feel any strain in any of your relationships, you could probably use the chance to unload. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload the stressors and get some unbiased feedback. You'd be pretty surprised at what you might gain from it. See if it's for you. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Gen2Gen listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Gen2Gen. That's BETTERHELP.com/Gen2Gen.
So like, is there like an artist, do you feel like you know them, like you see them now and you go, man, when I knew them as this, and then now they're this?
Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, thank you. I knew them as just like these little boys, and now
On
they're
Disney.
Just, oh man, just
Still killing the same tracks though. You know,
Yeah.
Love Bug. I mean, come on.
they played that last night.
I
It went
literally-
off.
Yeah, Love Bug low-key might be my favorite song from theirs.
Yeah, when Kevin starts stroking that guitar,
Yeah.
my gosh, man, that
It's-
broken rip, man.
What about like Miley Cyrus? I think she'd be somebody that has a different generational
yeah. Oh, she flipped big time.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
went off
like
the
makes
rails.
a point of
Yeah,
like
she made it a point.
adapting with the times.
I don't know if it was adapted so much as it was like crashing through this like prison that
Wrecking
she
ball,
was in.
a wrecking ball of
yeah.
sorts.
Yes.
Can
If
we
I
say
may.
that? Can we say
For
that?
lack of better terms, yes.
A little bit of a wrecking ball.
Yeah, she for sure a wrecking ball through the little pop princess. She went from Hannah Montana to freaking
Yeah.
coming to the stage.
Oh my God! Let me take a bong rip real quick. Oh my God! Remember
Yeah.
that? That's when it all switched. There was like that
There was a
YouTube
video
or whatever,
of-
where she's like, "Oh my God, Leah!" Like, "Oh," and she's just like high off her ass, and everybody's like, "Oh no!"
Oh,
and
no.
She's like, "No, it's fine."
Yeah.
Just
But then she was also, what was cool about her too is she was a huge Workaholics fan.
she was into
You
it.
know what I mean? She would be tweeting about it. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah. She'd be like, "Oh my
That's-
God, Workaholics is back." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, like when you look back though, like what the show was about and how it is, it's like that isn't always like, it's not always the best sign of a person's personality.
Yeah. Like how you were saying, like, oh, my friend's like Adam. You're like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
You should talk to him then.
Yeah, so she was like knowing that there were a lot of fans like that. I really appreciated that. I think I met a lot of cool people because of Workaholics.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's really because of Workaholics that I met you, actually.
Look at
If
that.
you think about it.
Look at that.
Because the only reason why I was at Bieber's party was because he was a Workaholics fan.
Wait, you went to Bieber's party?
Yeah, it was his 21st birthday party.
Oh, yeah, that's how we met. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him at his 21st birthday party, and his guy John, it was like one of like handlers was like, "Eric, can you please come? He's a huge Workaholics fan, you know." But I had met him before, even at the Laugh Factory. I remember this. I'm at the Laugh Factory. I go to the balcony, and I'm looking down, and I look over, and it's Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, and he says to her like this. He goes, "Hey, look, it's the dude from Workaholics," you know. And I was like, "Oh, it's Justin Bieber."
And Selena Gomez is like, who?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
she
I
hadn't-
think
she
they
hadn't seen
watched.
it?
I
Oh,
think they
okay.
watched. You know,
That's
she's-
so cool.
so then,
That
anyways,
is actually that's cool.
so then,
That's
anyways,
dope.
I go to that thing. I talk to him. I meet. You know what I mean? And then I went to this party. And then you were there, and all these like influencer people were there. And I'm like, what is going on here? And he's just a cool kid. So we just immediately just be like, hey man, blah 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 blah. Then it just went on from there.
Yeah.
But then I met like again because of him. I was at that whatever summer festival thing.
Wango Tango.
I was at Wango Tango.
Wango Tango.
Yeah.
You don't know Wango Tango?
I don't know why I don't. What is
I
it?
feel like it's like this radio concert. It was like
Yeah.
Kiss FM or something. Wango Tango.
Oh, okay.
And they had a lot of like artists come out and. They
But
do
I met a lot of
performances and
people
all that.
there of these
Mhm.
like artists because I'm backstage, you know, and they're just like, oh man, Montez, you know what I mean? I'm
That's
like,
so
wow.
cool.
That's where you
know?
met Megan, right?
That's where I met Megan
Yeah, yeah,
Trainor.
Megan
She was
Trainor,
all
yeah.
about Workaholics. I met like
No, she was
Jake
all about
Miller.
that bass. Sorry.
Yeah,
Too
she was
easy.
all about that.
There you go. No,
It's
I like that.
okay.
Gen2Gen.
Say it with
Tune
your
in.
chest,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, don't
It was
bail.
already gone.
No,
Hold the ripcord.
you know what? We gotta let it. We gotta retake. We gotta retake that joke.
Wanna go?
Say it like you mean it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in an audition room right now, man.
Well, this is
Dang
how
it.
it
Do
happens.
you want to do that again? Do that again. It's time.
Take it again.
No, but I met her. I met like Jake Miller. I met like
Oh, I
a
love
bunch
Jake.
of people like that. You
Mhm.
know, who are like that's what I'm saying. There's like a lot, but I'm sure for you guys, for you and the boys, it was even more like craziness. What was had that one episode where what was that rock band that was on the show?
Black Keys.
Black Keys.
Right. They just like showed up just to be in the background.
Dude.
Really?
So at the end of the shoot, I'm leaving and I start walking towards the lead singer of Black Keys, and I'm reaching for my phone because I'm about to say, "Hey man, can we take a picture?" And he says before me, he's like, "Yo man, can we take a picture?" Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, that's right. You know, this is like people love this thing, man."
Mm-hmm.
So like I always say, I never thank you enough. You know what I mean?
For being on the show?
Yes. Yeah, I never thank you enough for being on the show, because it really did change my life. And it really was like, I was so glad to be a part of something that was very much like summer camp feeling that went on for 7 seasons.
Yeah. I mean, that must be so much fun. Like even just from these small things I've done so far, like I've had this definitely like family type connection with the people I've worked with. And like, I mean, the longest time I've been on a set for the same project has probably been like 2 to 3 weeks. And that was for this film. And like, just towards the end of it, I'm just like, wow, it's already almost over. Like, holy crap. And I only have known these people for a few weeks. And I'm already like, I don't want it to end, you know? So I could only imagine.
I know, but you think about, but let me ask you this. How many times have you texted someone from that movie recently?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to tell you
that's
is,
a good point.
This was different.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You understand? We just went to a wedding.
Yeah,
you know, we just went to like,
that's a different type of love.
Yeah,
right
we
there.
see each other, and it's like a thing where I genuinely feel like, oh, this is someone I care about in my life, not someone that I just worked with.
Yeah,
and I think that's like, I've been to 2 weddings, 2 Workaholics weddings. You know what I mean?
Who's the others?
Mary Beth.
Yeah, that was early on.
Yeah, she got married quick.
Yeah,
who's Mary Beth?
She was
Alice, the boss.
No way.
Yeah.
Is she nice?
No, just very mean. Very, very mean.
I don't know.
No, she's the best. She's hilarious.
I don't know. You never know if someone's like.
I remember season 1.
No, everybody on set rocked.
Yeah.
There was nobody
That's
that was bad.
feeling.
Except Wayman kind of sucked. No, just kidding. Wayman's the man. Never shuts up.
Is that his real name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody
much so.
had their real name except for me and Alice. Everybody else,
Eric
we were the only ones.
Eric wasn't cool enough, huh?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, I was based off a person that is actually named Montez. That's the whole thing.
Anders gave a shout out to somebody you went to high school with.
Yeah.
And Montez is such a good name.
Yeah.
It really is such a good name.
It's so racially ambiguous, like myself. You know?
Exactly.
That's a good way to put it.
You know, I remember in the audition process, I can tell they didn't even know what they wanted.
Oh man, we brought in everything.
Yeah, because they were like, I was in the audition room and it was like, these are like traditionally like black.
Yeah.
And then there's like Latinos, and I'm just like, what am I doing? It's the first time. My message to anybody about like auditioning for things is, when I saw the people that they had in there, I thought to myself, I was sitting there and I was like, I'm never gonna book this.
I get so nervous when I go into audition. I see so many. I'm just like,
no, but I was like, there's the dude from Boston Legal. There's the guy from the George Lopez show. There's buddies that I know. I was like, all these people are famous, and I was like, I'm never gonna get this.
Well, I don't know. I think in your instance for that role, like if I walk in a room and I see everybody who looks like me, but they're just better looking, better actors, you know, I'm like, oh well, I'm screwed. I'm the bottom barrel unless they like have to like make some sort of a budget, then they'll get me. But like if you see that it's all shapes, sizes, colors, whatever, that's when it's like you could win the role.
Well, that's exactly what I know now.
That's a good perspective. That's
what I know now.
Yeah.
And it also helped that I was like, I was like them. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody knew who I was. Because I knew too that it would be ridiculous to be like, here's these 3 guys who are the star of the show, and then you have this person who's like known.
Yeah.
You didn't want that dynamic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think about like The Office, for instance. Have you seen the audition tapes for The Office?
No.
Some
are
of
they good?
Bro, some of the people that went out, you're like, they didn't. But like, Seth Rogen, like people like that, you're like,
sure.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
like
that's kind of I guess that's kind of the double-edged sword too of like having like a hit show or whatever, because like, you know, I feel like everywhere I go, not everywhere, whatever, but like I'm Blake from Workaholics, and when
but that's because of your hair too, though.
Sure, I gotta shave my head.
No, I'm just saying that you have such a distinct look.
Sure.
Or make a company centered around conditioner.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. Or an entire series or movie about like a shampoo company. That could be really good.
Amazing.
That could be really good. I'll start writing.
What am I doing here?
It's Gen2Gen, baby. This is see the way they thank these youth, man. They know how to get made.
Oh yeah, what's the name of the movie going to be? Head and Shoulders.
That is so good.
Boom,
dude. And it's a buddy cop. One dude has huge shoulders. One dude has some hair.
It'd be you and the Jonas brother.
Or yeah. Hell yeah, me and Joe, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe, hit me up. Dude.
Your head and shoulders. I like it.
See?
But anyways, get back to it. You're super recognizable. So
oh, sure. So like, you know, when my headshot comes across your table, they're like, oh, the guy from Workaholics. But that's what the audience will think too. I'm never like a blank slate actor, which is fun to have people be like. That's why the best actors are the best actors, because no matter what role they're in, you're like, oh, that's not them. That's this character.
Yeah. Or what they do is also can jump, because like you look at like someone like say Joe Pesci. He's always Joe Pesci.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But he's so great at being Joe Pesci that it don't matter what role he's in.
Right.
You know, you know, sometimes even Denzel Washington, you know, when you see him, no matter what role it is, I wait for those first few lines, and then if he says like if he's a cop, whatever he's saying first, I go, I'm in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Okay, he's a cop in this one.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then the next one, even though it's still him doing that same performance, so it's just really about that. So I think like it becomes this horrible typecasting thing. So because we were in this like sort of like crazy comedy, you know, they see all of our headshots, and then they go, oh, like, well, you know, he's gonna be big, and he, you know, this stuff. So it's like when I branching out into other things was difficult for me after Workaholics. It was like, it was hard to get chances, because there was always just going to be like, well, you're going to be this big, you know, but it was like, no, dude, give me an opportunity to try something else. So do you find yourself dealing with that?
Yeah, for sure. But I think also, like, even as crazy as it is, yeah, like my hair restricts me to certain roles right out the gate, because people see someone like me, they assume several things out the gate. I smoke weed, I skateboard, I surf, like that right out the gate, or I'm in a band, something like that.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be. You're not gonna be in like the courtroom.
I'm not a lawyer.
Objection, Your Honor. You know, objection.
I'm gonna throw it to the jury real quick for this.
Okay, so what role would you shave that thing off?
Whoa.
I mean,
what director, what producer comes to you and goes, I got you in mind for this, but I need you to shave your head.
Wait. I got you in mind, or you'll book this if
you
because that's different than saying, hey, I got you in mind. No. You're shaving. You're like, he's like, no, we're good actually.
No. But that would suck. They'd be like, oh, actually, you need the hair. That used to be me and my mustache.
I was gonna ask, did you audition with the mustache?
Yeah, people ask me all the time, like
chained to your mustache.
Yeah, they were like, will you shave that?
Yeah, but you're super ugly without your facial hair. To be fair, you're very ugly without your facial hair. So that's very understandable. Like, as soon as that comes off, it's like...
This has been Gen2Gen, everybody.
Thanks for coming by.
You got a face like a Halloween mask, dude.
Keep going. Go on. Get it all out.
My guy has big features, okay?
Yeah, when I shaved the mustache, this point from the bottom of my nose to my lip becomes like 2.5 inches. It's really annoying. I just go, that mustache fills up a lot of space.
I think your mustache like hooks into your nose hair and keeps your lip up.
Yeah. It's very much like a puppeteer.
Okay, see, my guy's getting on the self-roast.
Self-deprecation.
Yeah, he's Emineming me. He's B-rabbiting it.
Yeah, right.
Good stuff,
you got
man.
to say it so others can.
That's how it is.
So what role?
I mean, I don't know. I love the idea of doing anything super stylistic, like a Wes Anderson movie would be really cool. Just anything that has a completely...
That's interesting. So you're saying like artsy-fartsy over like, say...
like a Michael Bay.
Like the Michael Bay comes and goes, you're going to be the new Transformers guy, but I need you to shave your head.
I mean, no, I guess like if they approach me to be like a bad guy in Batman, yeah, I would for sure shave my head to be somebody.
See, that's still artsy-fartsy.
What? No,
I like this about you.
Have to be.
No, you're artsy-fartsy. It's okay.
Okay, I'll take
You're
it.
a little pretentious. He's saying, I get it. He's like, I'm not just going to shave my head from Michael Bay in some Transformers movie. No, I gotta be the Penguin and I gotta be the Riddler or something like that.
That would be sick, dude. That would be so sick. I feel like a Batman would be the best of both worlds. It's kind of like Blockbuster, but you can dig into the character as well. But I mean, if Transformers came to me and was like,
it's a money thing.
This is the check.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. So
well, how long had it took you to grow out your hair like that? Like, do you cut it at all? Like, when was the last time you cut it?
That's what's really weird is my hair is just like, it like eats itself.
Yeah, it like just stopped when it got to a certain point of
his split ends got split ends.
Oh yeah, they're bad. They're dead. They're zombies. I've got a whole new Head and Shoulders. Hit me up, please, because we got problems. I'm switching to dry shampoo. I don't know what to do.
So it's money or art.
Yeah, what? That's the biz.
That's the biz. Yeah. What else would it be? Like,
so I'm saying, so you would cut your hair for scale. If like Wes Anderson's like, I'm doing this thing.
Scale? I don't know.
But that's what it would be.
What do you mean at scale?
Like there's certain artsy fartsy directors who like they they don't pay everybody like millions of dollars. It'd be like, hey, I need you to make the scale SAG amount.
Yeah, like the least
like
amount.
Woody Allen or somebody that does.
Or like Jonah Hill in Wolf of Wall Street.
Did he take a
Dude,
pay cut?
the most insane pay cut ever just to be in that. I mean, he ended up pitching himself to Leo in Mexico for the role, and then Leo ended up calling Martin and was like, hey, listen up. I think we got the guy. And then Martin ended up having his meeting with Jonah, and he said it was one of the best meetings he's ever had.
Yeah, but you can swing like that. He's got Jonah Hill money. Like, Jonah Hill is killing it.
But apparently he only got like $60K for that film.
I'll take that.
I'll take
my head right
I would
off top.
take like I would pay $60K to be in that film. Like
that's what's up. Pay to get into it. Yeah.
Like
that'd be terrible.
Why would that be terrible?
I mean, come on, dude.
It could lead to several other movies.
I know, but you should be compensated for your work.
Wow, look at this IATSE over here.
Yeah.
There we go.
You should be compensated for your work. You know what I mean? They all want. They always want.
Depends on how.
They always want to get us for cheap. Isn't that the reason why we're not even doing Workaholics anymore?
I suppose. Yeah. I suppose.
You know.
Well, did you guys end it on your own writing it, or like when you guys ended the show?
No, that's You want to?
If you even want to get into that,
what? No, what do you mean? No, we weren't canceled. We were.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
We left on our own terms. I mean, we kind of were like, we'll do more seasons if you guys like really back the money truck up on us. But like, Adam wanted to go do movies. We did Game Over Man shortly after that for Netflix. So like, we just really wanted to start, branching out to like films and other stuff, just open up the options and all that. But we were like, we will stick around if you just pay us an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
That'll keep everybody around.
So how was that transition?
Yeah, they were like, nope, we're Comedy Central. No way.
So how was that transition from TV to film? Was there like a big transition at all, or did you not really notice anything different?
Well, on doing like Game Over Man, it was Kyle directing and like us starring.
And your role was very different than what you had played in Workaholics.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
So.
We like at first, like the characters that we were aligned with, like I was Durz's character, who was like the stoner dude, and then he was my character, and then Adam was always Alex. But then we did like a late shuffle where it's like, what if we play something different for the movie? And I actually really liked the way it turned out. But
me too.
Yeah, the experience was pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
It's definitely different filming movie as far as like wrapping your head around like scene to scene and like the story of it, because you just realize like it's just one story, and there and like sometimes you're coming back multiple days into the same scene.
Same exact scene. Yeah, so you have to kind of like put yourself back in that exact same mindset as you were in that scene, and like they're not always going to be shooting in chronological order.
Yeah,
and that's the hardest part in my opinion about it is trying to know where you're at in the script. Like, okay, where would I be at in this part of the movie, part of the the project?
Well, that's the work that they assume that every actor does, and I don't think they always do that.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
There is something to be being prepared. You can tell when people come prepared, it makes a better product. But even then, like with a movie, you just have to, as an actor or like a comedian, you have to know like emotionally your range. Like you might feel like you're not being like at a 10, but if you're at a 10 in every scene you do, and then you see it on film and you're like, Jesus, what the hell? Like, why was I so just like trying to suck up the energy of every scene? It's like, you have to really pace yourself and pick your points, It's
Well, it's like knowing also what makes the scene funny. And it's like, it doesn't mean that you being funny is what makes the scene funny. Sometimes you being like, way down because you're playing off this other person, and it's like the reaction to that is what makes something funny. It's like understanding all that. That's the hardest thing for comedians to understand going over into acting. I mean, it's super hard. It was a big transition for me too, being like, going from being a stand-up to being an actor, then to being like all these other more serious things that I've done. I've been in some indie films and stuff like that where it's like, I get it, where it's like, I know I'm funny looking, so I don't have to push to be
you're
funny.
Beautiful.
No, I'm saying I get like when
adorable.
That's what makes you people are gonna laugh. So I have to I know that if you understand that, then I don't have to like play anything extra, because especially in a movie, that's just right there.
Yeah,
they see in every crease and every they get So it's just like making that transition is it can be difficult. So you have to try to understand it, and that's why I think like, you know, a lot of comedic performers, when they actually go in, that's why I think it's easier for comedic performers to go do drama.
Yeah, for sure.
Than it is to go the other way.
Because when they're like told like don't be funny, then like all their instincts are kind of just like, oh yeah, I don't have to perform. I just have to be myself.
And it's still funny.
Well, I think comedy is actually one of the hardest things.
Oh, it is.
To
I
hit.
agree. Thank you.
Like I think that's just simply what it is, because anyone can feel anger, anyone can feel sad, anyone can kind of display those emotions, and it can hit you. But comedy is so specific to each person that the timing is beyond everything most important, you know? So I think that's one of the hardest parts.
But I also think that like understanding what makes something funny is the essence. And I'll give you an example. Robert De Niro could be in a mobster movie acting a certain way. And you could take that same performance and you could put it in Meet the Stillers.
Meet the Parents
or whatever. The Stillers, same thing. Meet the Parents. And he's being the same guy.
Yeah.
You know? And it's now in a comedy.
So it's just funny because of him being put in that scenario.
But imagine if he was like trying to be funny. No, it was just Robert De Niro, like fish out of water, and he was being himself.
He's
and
like, I've got nipples.
Right.
They're like, De Niro, could you?
Because
Let's take it both ways.
So what I'm saying is like that is an important factor, and I think that is what lacks sometimes when you get these comedies, man. It's like it's like so much, it's too much.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's like a pull theory. Like if someone's pushing too much at comedy, it's hard to hit sometimes. But I feel like some of my favorite comedies are the pull theories. Like for instance, like Superbad. Some of the funniest scenes are where it's not even like where they're going out of 10. You know, it's just these simple moments, these simple interactions between friends. Like, oh, and then people have this relatability to maybe one character, and their friend has another relatability to the other. Like, oh, that reminded me of that one time, as opposed to this like slapstick moment in the movie where it's supposed to be the funniest part of the movie when it's just corny.
Yeah.
Yes, that's weird. Like if you think about like those kind of coming of age movies, like what was your coming of age movie that you really enjoyed? I mean,
sure,
those movies weren't for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen Project X?
You know,
I mean, that was definitely past.
Project X.
Did you see that?
You've never seen it? No,
Which one was that?
It's like they throw this huge like house party, and then like,
but it's like filmed in a way that it's like a documentary type.
Oh, it's that stupid
sense.
Found footage.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Changed the game.
I'm
like
so no, it didn't.
After
it's gone
that,
now.
there were like
it's gone. It's lazy.
12 to 13 to 17 found footage movies.
It was lazy filmmaking in my
like
opinion.
Cloverfield or something.
Cloverfield.
Yeah,
all those, dude. I hate all those.
What?
I mean, they were
well,
all.
They hate you. So
they were all sons of Blair Witch, though.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was scary as hell.
Yeah.
Were you around for that?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen.
Oh, Blair Witch was a game changer.
Yeah, it was.
When I was a youngster, oh man,
I remember driving to Newport Beach because all the theaters were sold out, and we like went down there. We gotta go watch Blair Witch.
Well, this is how dumb we were. Like the internet was pretty new, so their whole website, which they had us convinced that it was real.
Yeah,
For some reason, we bought in that like these 3 people like died in the woods.
Yes.
Because like there was a
it was
website
real
you
found
went
footage.
to,
Yeah.
and it was like missing. Yeah,
it was great marketing.
Wow.
And then everybody's mind was blown when like at the MTV Movie Awards they were standing there.
Yeah, I was like,
and people were like, wait, what? And then they were like, it's like it's the moment you find out that wrestling is fake.
Yeah, it's very much that. But
that's a good way to put it.
That's the other thing that's so weird, generation to generation. Like, why were we so gullible to like?
I think it's just it was new. Entertainment in general was new.
It's just weird how the mind evolves with time. Because even like when I go back and I watch the original Jumanji, I'm like, these animals looked real to me. Like the CGI was crazy. Now I look at it and I'm like, this looks like garbage. Like these movies don't look real at all.
We're coddled now, though. We're so coddled.
No, but that's because our eye. You know what it is our eye now can recognize what it is. So, because like for me, and I've talked about this on here, the first time I saw those dinosaurs in Jurassic Park in the theater, that was the first CGI'd animal on screen.
Yeah.
And it was a moment where you were like, the whole theater was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so after that, you cut to 20 years later, everything has CGI. So the CGI that you don't even like when it's good is when I go, you know, that was CGI, and you go, really?
Yeah.
That's when it's good. But now you look at some of the stuff and you go like, yeah, the Jumanji animals, you're like, wait.
But like even the fact that like in Blair Witch, they could trick us into thinking it was real. Like they would never show a death in a real missing people in a movie theater. Like that's like dark web.
Yeah,
that is, see like
that is
that kind of stuff. But like we really thought they were showing this to mass audiences. Like
it was a great marketing.
I was
so
gonna
stupid.
say it comes down to marketing. I mean, think about like Paranormal Activity. That movie was made for 15. I think that's still to this day one of the biggest margins when it comes to like from budget to actually making your cost back and all that. Like I think it was like 15K. But you want to know why?
The Purge was another one that was
a
big margin of.
I've never seen The Purge.
The original Purge was like a big profit gain.
Oh wow! Well, you know why Paranormal Activity did so well is because of the way that they marketed it. They would literally show the audience watching the movie.
Right.
You remember that commercial?
Yeah, it would
was
be like the green and like everybody like
and just showing, and everyone's like, oh well, I want to feel like those people in the audience. It wasn't even about the movie; it was about the reaction you'll get from the movie. They like reverse engineered the marketing, which is like
that's what it is, man.
It worked. It
worked. You can't do that anymore without movie theaters. Damn. R.I.P.
I just went to a movie.
You did?
Theater. Yeah, I was in Washington. I went to go. I met. I've met them before, but I hung out with Matt's parents. You know,
meet the parents.
Yeah,
all right. How are
very
really
nice
cool?
people.
Very nice.
Very
Good.
cool.
You like your parents?
I like
yeah,
my
they're
parents.
very
That's
cool.
great. You love them?
I love them.
I saw Matt's room. I took a lot of pictures of Matt, like his baby pictures and stuff, because they are hilarious.
Next day, I'm in Vegas for EDC, and I'm waking up at like 11 a.m. and I'm just like seeing all these photos of my own self that
like,
Erik is sending me, and I could see his reflection in the photos. As he's like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And you know what's crazy? His mom was very much like, she was like, and don't post these without asking Matt. And she's all, you know.
Well, you want to know why?
Now.
She's all hip to the internet.
She's like, if you do post them, tag him. Okay? And link in bio, please.
Well, the thing is, the reason she said that is because growing up when I started getting into the whole social media thing, one of my friends had come over and had posted it, and she just did not like that at all. Like she still feels some type of way.
She told me a lot of great stories.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I respect that better than a parent who's like oblivious and is just like, yeah, here's all this. You can have it. Post away.
Yeah, they're adorable together as parents. His dad is like his dad built the house.
Oh,
so he's proud of it. Like he was like showing me the fireplace, and he just was going in on like all this stuff, and he's got this great accent, so it's like it's funny to watch him.
He's from Colombia.
He's from Colombia, so it's just funny to watch him like talk about everything. And then he was like, they gave me a tour of the whole house. You know,
so you grew up in the house your father built?
Yeah, from 2007. So like by the time I turned 9 or 10, I grew up in the house that my dad built.
His mom showed me like some of Matt's school projects.
Oh gosh!
So he made this money machine.
Oh yeah.
What? What the hell is that?
It was
he made a money machine. And she still has it. She's like,
this is like a counterfeiter.
Yeah, he was like,
wow, you could get in a lot of trouble for that.
It's printing bills back then, baby.
But you were probably at the age where people are like, oh, that's so cute. Yes,
that's what
you
it
can
was.
buy with the fake money. And little did they know they're creating a monster.
No, his money machine was just like those CGI from Jumanji.
Exactly.
Like, oh, this is so good.
Oh, this is perfect.
Just really had to, you know.
Take all the airheads you want.
All right, so before we go too much longer, we got to go to Matt's notebook, you know.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, come on. You did your
the
homework,
notebook.
man.
He always does this. He's
I mean, we honestly naturally do hit
he's like
so
Oprah.
many of the questions. I
don't need a notebook, man. I'm proud.
Especially when it's your friend, though. You don't need a notebook. I mean, even though if I'm bringing on my friend that I've known for a while, still.
He has even bigger.
Really? Yeah. I got to start doing that. I respect the hustle. This is preparation. See?
Thank you.
We've been talking about that.
Well, one question I did really want to get on that I didn't really get to yet is what is your favorite form of art when it comes to like, are you more of like an actor, director, writer? Like what really makes you most excited to get in the room?
I mean,
or is it just like the producing part of it where you're casting someone like Erik? You know?
Yes.
Running into him
love
at
the power dynamic of going in the break room and saying, I can get you the part.
You need me.
Before he even answers this, can I tell you a great Blake story? Mm-hmm. So we're doing this dumb episode, you know.
Okay.
All right. Where
they're all pretty dumb.
Where I have to like I have to I'm eating Bill's boogers.
Yes.
You know, and this guy's so excited about it. He's like, ooh, I can't wait. You're going to eat Bill's boogers. He was just like a gleeful little kid. So happy. And so that just gave me a vision of them in the writer's room. Just like, how can we torture Erik in the next episode? They go, oh, let's make him eat boogers. Let's make him do this. Let's make him do that. And it was just a lot of that. Even the first episode I was ever in, it says in the script, like, you know, it's like Montez comes out the bathroom naked.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, hey guys, I I don't know if you've seen me.
Yeah.
Not sure, you know. And then he goes, hey, that's been in the script from day one, bro.
That's true.
I was in pilot, baby.
So I was like, okay. So I would make fun of all my like attractive actor, comedian friends. I go, I've been naked on TV before you.
Yeah. I mean, but that's kind of the answer to the question is like, there are things where like, it's the creation of it. It's like having that idea in my head and being like, one day I'm going to see this. We even had like, there's the scene in Game Over Man where Adam is like naked himself in the closet, and we had that in a script for so long, and you have it in your head, like you have the movie in your head, you have the scene, but when it actually comes to life and you get to watch it, it's the same with like designing a shirt. When you have the idea, but it finally gets drawn and printed on the t-shirt, and you have it in front of you, and you see that thing in your mind, and it's as good, if not better, than what you imagined. That's when it's like, oh man, this is the coolest part of it all. It's like to see the creative process all the way to the end, and it being something that you're like proud of. Yeah. And it's like, wow, that's why I'm in it.
Are you a big part of the t-shirt creation too? Is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So I've seen, like I said, it is cool.
What was it? What was it called again? Bored Teenager?
BoredTeenager.com. The name of the brand
glad
is
I remembered
Teenage. That. Yeah, you got it, dude.
Yeah, you would like it. You know.
I'll definitely check it out. No, that sounds really cool. And you can go to Bored Teenager for 15% off with code Gen2Gen.
All right, I'll see what I can do about that.
Yeah, he's never gonna do that.
I don't know.
I'm still gonna.
I've been asking him for a double XL shirt for 8 years, and it's yet to happen.
I'm really bad about it.
I love double XL shirts or just XL shirts in general because they're a little bigger on me, a little baggier on me.
Yeah, you could just
that room.
Wear them to bed, a little night tea. Sure, I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
What else you got on the notebook?
Yeah,
there,
come on, man. Hard hitting stance on Afghanistan.
Yeah, we know.
Well, I mean, so had your perception, or with any of the guys too, had your perception of office jobs changed at all during the process or after or before filming? Or writing it, or where did a lot of that inspiration for that office job come from? Did you guys work in an office job?
It came directly from Adam and Anders. They both worked at call centers. So we were kind of like sitting around the writer's room when we were thinking about what the job would be. And it was just kind of like, what is the most mindless, like worst possible job? And they were pretty adamant about like making like cold
calling people. Yeah, I have a couple friends who are in that industry, and yeah, they tell me it's intense for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely like sitting in a cubicle and like not the best incentives, and also just like nobody likes people who call.
Cold calls them.
They had so many funny stories about people like, you know, air horning the phone in their ears, and just like you're just kind of like, you're not scum of the earth like a meter maid.
Yeah, meter maid. Yeah,
it's
right below meter maid.
Yeah, it's one of the hated professions. Yeah, like somebody who gives you tickets for parking.
Okay. They're the worst.
Yeah, they are. Oh, gosh.
I actually genuinely think people who are working in parking enforcement want to see people cry.
Oh, you have to have some sort of
animals. All of them.
They're crazy.
Like some form of like.
They're sadistic.
Yeah,
they're sadistic. They're cold-blooded. They have no remorse. You can
So at least if you're police, you're helping someone else potentially in a lot of scenarios. Parking enforcement ruin days.
All of them. If you follow them home, you might find a family tied up in the basement.
And I follow them home a lot.
The guy who gives the parking ticket, or the girl who gives the parking ticket, you just following them home. And
if you follow them on Instagram, they're terrible memes. It's bad. They're just bad people.
Dang. Well, what are some of your future plans right now? Are you focused more on acting right now, directing, writing? What are or focused more on the shirt company? Like, what are you mainly?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to juggle a few projects in the air. Adam's filming a movie in Atlanta right now that I'm gonna go do a couple weeks on.
Nice.
And me and the dudes do a podcast called This Is Important Pod on iHeartRadio, which
check it out, everybody.
We're super pumped on.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like always releasing new designs on BoredTeenager.com. So yeah, just kind of try to stay busy,
staying creative.
Yeah, I'd like to start pitching some ideas around town and get a show going. Like I've been talking with Kyle about maybe doing a like this sitcom kind of set in space. That might be kind of cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm all about like having a TV show.
Better be on it.
Yeah, you'll be in there, bro. We got you.
You heard it.
You know what's crazy is I actually asked Erik. I was like, hey, if they ever need anyone from my age on Workaholics, and then you're like, nah, they actually don't. I'm like, dang it. I'm like, dang it, I'm too young.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
I was. I don't think I ever really saw anyone from my age on the show.
It was like it would have been inappropriate.
Yeah, for sure.
Understandable.
We had a lot of fun. I don't know, man. What's do you have like a one moment that you think back to Workaholics, like shooting, that is like, oh, that was a day that you just go, oh, I'll never forget this day?
That's funny. I have the funniest set moment. That's one of my questions.
There was.
See, I don't need that.
There was a really surreal moment when we were doing it was Checkpoint Gnarly, which is the one with Alice's cousin B-Rad. Brad, B-Rad is rad, and we're like driving around town trying to find her cousin, who we were like in charge of kind of like showing a night out on the town, and he disappears. But there was a moment when they had the Vo. We're driving in the Vo, but we're on the back of like one of those cars where we're just shutting down streets. Like in LA, we had the radio of the Vo on because the Lakers were in like the finals, so it was like. Between shots, we'd be like, hey, like the Lakers are going on a run, like, so just if we could just pause. So we were like in the middle of Hollywood, streets are shut down. I'm with my best friends. We're sitting on the back of this car being filmed, listening to the Lakers in the finals. And it just was kind of like, whoa, dude, like we did it. We're like kind of like little mini kings of Hollywood. Like here we are, like police escort, like all this. It just was like a very surreal moment where I was like, man. Like we really did it, and I was just like, it was just cool. It was all clicking, and it was just like, this is the LA dream, and we're like living it.
I think that's important though, to understand in those moments like where you're at, because I think a lot of people will just keep going like boom, 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 and they don't really take that time to stop and like really smell the roses and be like, wow, we're really doing this right now. We're literally having these cameras and telling people, wait, give us a second, let's listen to this Laker game real quick. Oh, that's dope. Okay, let's go back to shooting. Like it's really important just in life in general. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, to take those moments and really be like, whoa, I made it this far, because it's a form of gratitude at the end of the day that keeps you pushing forward.
And
he's like 58.
Yeah, man, you're wise beyond your years,
you know
my
what I mean?
friend.
Thank you.
I'm the kid on this show, and he's the.
I'm sorry.
He's the old grandma.
I'm sorry. Being 58 means I'm gratuitous.
It's okay. You're just you get it.
Word?
He gets it.
Sure.
He gets it. That's why it works.
It was cool. Like even with Workaholics, it being like the first experience in Hollywood, it was such a dream job. Like that, like when veteran actors like Daniel Stern would come on the set and he'd be like, you guys don't get it. Like this doesn't happen a lot where you get to make a show with people you genuinely like love. And you're having fun on set.
And be in charge.
Be in charge, making a product that people like and laugh, watching.
A timeless product. Too.
Yeah.
Now, is that the first thing? Okay, so I would venture to say that when you left Workaholics and you started doing other things, that's when you really started to appreciate Workaholics, right? When you were on another set. And you were
it's just like Andy from The Office. He's like, I wish we could know when we're in the happy. You know what I'm talking about? He has this quote from The Office. It's like, I wish we know we were in the happy times before we leave them, or in the good old days before we leave the good old days. You know what I'm saying? And I think to what you were saying, you had that moment on that street with the Lakers game, and you're just like, oh, these are the good old days. This is dope. Like, this is the beginning of it,
Yeah, but then when you do go experience other things and you're like, oh, not everything is like this, where it's like you feel like, because sometimes you do stuff where you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to eat as much crafty as I can.
I'm going to take advantage of this.
This is
set.
a snack I'm getting paid for.
Yeah.
But other than that, but it was like something we really believed in, and it was just like, it was awesome.
And then hopefully, so let's give us some inside scoop on the Workaholics movie.
Right, I didn't even mention that. So Paramount Plus came to us and was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do a movie?" And we were like, "We weren't thinking about it, but it seems like that could be a dope idea." So we've been getting to work writing the script, and it's more just about finding time in everybody's schedule where we can like hammer it down and film it. Yeah,
can't wait for that.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I'm hoping we get like everybody together, even like the old crew, like everybody.
Really going back to that synergy. You know what I'm saying?
And if
like
anything,
the first 3 season crew.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like Fun Kelly and all those people.
Dude, everybody.
Yeah.
If we can just make it like make a really funny, great movie, but also just kind of make it like a cool family reunion on the side too. That would be really
hitting all parts of it, you know?
Yeah, just to see everybody again, check back in.
Yeah,
see.
it was good times. It's like that's great. You know, I think that because of everything that we've done since then, I think we will always have a really great appreciation for that, and it's always a great memory.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's the thing I like about it, because you don't always have something like that where you got, this is one of the, like, you know, for most people it's like the high school was the greatest time of my life, you know, that kind of thing. That was it. That's how we feel about that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure. The glory days.
Yeah.
Well, before we finish up here, I have one would you rather
Okay, sure.
that I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's hear it,
I
baby.
asked some fans. I was like, all right, guys, give us your best would you rathers, and I picked 3, but there's actually just one that I thought I
Really
looked
spoke
at.
to you?
Yeah, I was like, this is a very interesting.
It better be about Jonas Bros.
Who would you rather?
Okay.
Elton Jonas.
All right. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house?
A week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house?
Like, yeah. I feel like I'd rather do forest. I feel
week's
like
a long time.
It is a long time. Do you have supplies?
Yeah,
like,
what's the deal?
like these would you rather? They need more.
it's
like,
up
do I
to
have
interpretation.
do I have
you
to
guys are
hunt for-
digging too deep
Yeah,
already.
that's
Well,
what
like-
we do. Do we have to hunt for our own food? Is
Right.
there a water
No,
supply
everything
Is this
nearby?
an Airbnb
but this is
situation?
the same theory though with the horror or with the haunted house. You'd be like, oh, is the bed gonna have sheets?
No, because if it's a
Does
real
the water
haunted-
work?
Like if it's a real haunted house, is it like, okay, so you're gonna be so it's like is it the chance that you have the chance to not survive because you have to run from ghosts all day?
Like, yeah, are these like is there a murderer, like
Yeah,
a murdering ghost?
Yeah, is this
a Blair
is it
Witch
like Insidious?
situation?
This is a bad would you rather. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I mean the forest just seems like the forest, but I mean
I can see
the haunted house seems fun. I would
I'd
really
take the
like to
haunted
do
house.
that.
But you're
I would
alone.
really like
Remember,
to do
you're
that.
alone in this scenario too.
Okay.
I feel like if I was alone, I'd want to be in the forest. If I was with people, I'd want to be in the haunted house.
Well, here's the deal: the forest, you could actually die. The haunted house, come on, ghosts aren't
But
real.
a real haunted house, though.
Sure,
So the whole
yeah,
point.
that's why it's
It's real haunted house, but ghosts are still fake.
Okay, let's do it differently then. Would you rather go through would you rather be in like a Saw haunted house where you have to go through
Chained up and getting like my shit
murder.
cut off?
Yeah,
No, you have to go- but you have to-
now we're talking a
you have-
whole different.
Yeah, that's just
you have to go through whatever the Saw things are to get out, or would you rather be in a forest
For a week.
nothing though, and it's a forest that has like
For how
bears
long?
and lions, and you're there for a week.
like Naked and Afraid style.
Yes, naked and afraid style, exactly.
Like bugs burrowing in my back and stuff.
Yes. Would you rather be? So
But-
Probably forest. I'd still have a better
Yeah,
chance.
you have a
'cause-
better chance. The other one is like a serial killer that's like,
Yeah, but you can get out if you follow the rules.
have you watched
Have
Saw?
some of the rules are like,
one
all
guy
right, you're
gets
gonna have
out.
to get a key
See?
from the inside of your eye to
yeah.
get
It's
out.
already
Like,
a better conversation.
I'm not trying to do anything Saw related.
yeah, that is.
All right.
You are? You're one of those guys who's like, don't worry, guys, I got this.
got
And
this.
you die right away.
You know, I'm reading the thing. Let's follow the instructions, yo.
Saw doesn't give instructions. They give
he
like
does.
riddles.
Yeah.
I'm good with riddles.
Are you?
Yeah.
Get out of an escape room.
Yeah, let's
Goes
start
to
there.
one escape room once and then
Yeah,
thinks
let's
he's the
see
Saw
how you do
master.
there.
I'm still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Naked and Afraid, though, is like,
Have you watched? Yeah, that.
I
Oh my
can't.
gosh,
I can't.
It's
I
it's
can do
gnarly.
that.
It's a lot.
They get so many bug bites.
Yeah, the bug bites.
And that's the thing that
No,
doesn't want.
but the one I hear, but then you have to listen to hear about, like, some people, it take them 6 months to recover from some of the stuff that happens to them.
Yeah, it's bad. They get
Yeah.
like
So,
really bad diarrhea. That never goes away.
it never.
Jeez.
Eternal diarrhea. It's
It
terrible.
Indefinite, indefinite. diarrhea.
Indefinite explosive diarrhea.
Yeah,
So would you rather have?
Indefinite.
Here it is.
I love it. I'll take that diarrhea.
All right, listen.
baby.
I think we did it.
Yeah.
Right, where we at? We're at 107. I do it.
107.
Man, legit. I'm not just saying it for the podcast and all that. You know, I genuinely love you.
Oh, I love you too,
Really,
buddy.
one of my favorites. When I saw you we were in the pool together at the wedding. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Blake. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That was like me when I was like, oh, at the Jonas Bros. Like, oh, it's Blake.
Yeah, man.
I was like, we both have the love for the same Joe Bros. That's
There we go.
That's
Man.
awesome.
It's all about these
Ugh.
human connections.
You know, exactly.
God, big arms, Jonas. But
Dude, check him out.
we want to thank Blake Anderson for coming
Yes,
to the
thank
show.
you for
Make sure you
coming,
check
man.
out the Teenage T-shirt
Bored
company.
Teenager.
Bored
Mhm,
Teenager.
mhm.
Check him out on the podcast with the other Workaholics boys.
This is important.
This is important. Which the fans keep asking me, like, why don't they bring you on? This is important.
Well, if anybody gets sick, we'll sub you in.
Oh, God.
We don't do guests.
Yeah, cut to me like, I'm not a guest. You should make it like I'm a guest.
What do you want to be? Featured extra?
Well, yeah, that's what I was on Workaholics.
That's a good way to do it. That's a good way to present it. You want to be not a guest, featured extra? Like put a little sprinkle on the.
Just real quick though, I remember season 1 of Workaholics. I'm watching. It was only 4 episodes, so I would watch the show, and then like the camera would pan past where Montez is supposed to be sitting. Yeah. So I would be live tweeting. I'd be like, "Well, Montez at the dentist today." You know?
That's true. Which I just went back and watched. At one episode of The Other Cubicle. Where can we find those? These were ones that we weren't in. It was like just Erik and Jet Set and Wayman and Bill.
Yeah.
And Kevin wrote them and directed them.
Yeah, but you know what it was? It's because these clowns would talk about things without, like, no sponsorship. They just love talking about it. So they talked about Choco Taco.
I love Choco Taco.
So they talked about Choco Taco.
Growing up, almost every single day at lunch, I would get a Choco Taco.
But the Choco Taco
That's something
people,
that will never change.
Ever.
Choco Tacos
Choco
are the
Tacos.
The Choco Taco people, they heard about this and they were like, "Oh my God, can you guys do like a?" So we did like these like commercials.
Yeah.
Basically, we're like commercials, and it was like me. And you know what I mean? So those the other cubicles were pretty funny.
We couldn't have made the show without that. That was like the powerhouse. You guys were funneling all your money into our pockets. So thank you, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate it, Erik.
It was like less money than a normal commercial. Like, it was ridiculous. They were playing it during the show on TV. So I'm like, this is a commercial. I'm not getting commercial money for this.
Yeah, but they're funny.
Yeah, they're funny. Go check them out. The Other Cubicle. Well, what's that? Oh. Anyways. This is Erik Griffin, and I'm saying thank you to my good friend, Mr. Blake Anderson.
Yes, thank you. Matthew Espinosa.
This has been Gen2Gen.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Episode 8.
Is it 8? Oh, wow. And we will see you next week.
Nice. Bye.